Hi guys, this is Elle. I'm the host of of Artists with Anxiety. I am here today with another fantastic artist. I will let them introduce themselves. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Elle. I am mostly a painter. I've been painting for almost 12 years. And I also do like some other mediums and stuff like that, but I mostly just stick to paint.
Mm-hmm. You have some beautiful pieces here, so
Thank you.
Okay, let's dive in. So you mentioned that you're a painter then, and only reveal what you're comfortable with. But so, like, what kind of mental health issues are you dealing with as you're being an artist?
So I have PTSD, which comes with a lot of fun symptoms.
Yeah.
I also have generalized anxiety disorder, and then I also have major depression disorder, and then a plethora of other things. Did I say generalized anxiety disorder?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean those are like the three main ones I feel like really affect me the most with art. So with PTSD, I deal a lot with it just kind of makes you feel on edge a lot. Like, you're easy to startle and stuff like that. I think the biggest issues with that is there's like bouts of kind of like anger or irritability that come with that. And sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming in a sense that it's like, okay, well, like, how can I get this irritation and frustration and anger out, but like in a healthy way that's not hurting like anybody else or myself, and just really, really helps me process that feeling completely. But that's definitely a part of it that really, because I do want to talk about that because it does kind of, I don't know what the word is, like it kind of dictates the way that I have to lay things out when I do art. So with the PTSD, there's also like a lot of like night terrors and stuff like that, and then with generalized anxiety disorder, I always feel like on edge and stuff like that, and I tend to doubt myself a lot with things, and I need like that kind of reassurance with some things. Or things just seem kind of uncertain. And then with the major depression, it's hard to feel motivated to do things like art and other things in life. And I think sometimes what goes into that is also like sometimes there's not inspiration either. So sometimes there's no motivation or inspiration to do things or to do art. And then sometimes it's like I'll feel motivated but I won't feel inspired, or I'll feel inspired but I'm not feeling motivated to do art.
I love that. So, it's great.
Yeah, it doesn't always, they don't always play well together sometimes. So not when you need them.
No.
Although I would say if I had to prefer one or the other, like, it's better to have the motivation, and then, like, sometimes you can just, like, make awesome things by accident, but I also like to sometimes embrace those accidents because I feel like it's my subconscious coming out.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I'll end up seeing things in the painting when I'm working on it, and I'll think to myself, like, oh, that's actually really playing along with how I'm feeling subconsciously. Like, it really kind of helps me identify what I'm feeling. When before I didn't know or realize that is what emotion or thought I was trying to process. So it's kind of interesting how that comes out. I can't say that I always embrace all accidents. Like, some of them don't. There are happy accidents that are not happy accidents. So yeah, but it's kind of nice. Because it kind of makes me realize, it helps me process things that I don't realize are there.
No, that's really cool. I like that. So then when you are having like either a bad mental day or an episode of anything, how do you force yourself to be creative? Like, if you have a deadline, or do you just how do you address those things when you know you need to be creative?
That's really hard. I think there's kind of a two-part answer to that. It depends. Like, if I'm making a commission piece for a client, you know, there's definitely a deadline for that. Or at least for most clients. I do have like a really nice client of mine who's a good friend of mine, who's a little bit more relaxed with the deadline.
Right.
Because, you know, we're very close, so she knows a lot about the things I struggle with and stuff in art. And, you know, I've got other things going on. Like, I've got a part-time job. I've, you know, got to feed myself, got to, you know, get groceries. I got to do, you know, the normal adult stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I love stuff like that, but it is more challenging, which can be hard in itself sometimes. But sometimes I like to embrace that challenge, because it's always good to challenge yourself, because then you kind of get further in what you're doing and you learn more from it and stuff like that. And it's just always good to, you know, kind of push your boundaries a little bit, you know, like at least in a safe way.
Yeah.
As far as like, we were asking about motivation, right?
Yeah. Like,
so, like with forcing and stuff.
Yeah. Do you force yourself? Do you not? Do you in between?
I used to not force myself so much. But now I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to do that more. Like, even if I'm just giving myself, like, a little bit of a push. So I'll say, like, okay, like, today, what if I just do an acrylic pour? And I just do a small painting? Or what if today, instead of, like, you know what, I don't feel motivated enough to paint anything or get all the necessary supplies out to do so, or the cleanup or anything, but you know, I just want to do like some little I kind of do like little test blocks every now and then. If I'm trying to convey like a certain concrete theme for a painting or concrete colors, I like to kind of get those down to make sure it's all going to fit well together. So sometimes I'll take days out where I just do that. Even if it's just like, even if you do it for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it's better than like not doing anything. And I kind of feel like it slowly made me more motivated, instead of just like sitting there, you know, because you know, the depression kind of comes in and it's like, well, now I feel badly about myself because I didn't do anything today.
Exactly.
I don't feel like I've been very productive. Like, either just in general, like just as an adult, or just, you know, painting wise. So I'm trying, you know, I've been pretty good about it. Like, I'm trying to challenge myself and at least do something, if not every day, at least every other day. Because it's kind of like, you know, like riding a bicycle. Like, if you stop riding a bicycle, and then you get on it like 5 years later, for example, you know, then you forgot how to ride the bicycle. I feel like that's kind of very similar with art. Like, it's a muscle. Like, you have to keep practicing it, or you're gonna lose it.
I mean, that's what I grew up with all my art training, I guess is what, for lack of a better word. But I was always taught to like work through it, even if you can't do the whole project, if you can't sit down and do the whole thing, like do a warm-up sketch, or get the ground, like lay the groundwork down. If you can't do the details, don't do the details. Even if you need to work on a project, like if it's like work on something smaller for another client, as long as you're getting the work done, taking steps to do something, and I always feel so much better after. Like, I might feel miserable and like I know I need to get this work done, but then I still ended up doing something. I feel better. And then I can like tackle it the next day and at least come back with a better mindset, instead of, oh my god, I'm so far behind now. It's like, okay, well, at least did something. Right,
like you're chipping away a little bit, like by a little bit, that mental block. So like you're slowly getting somewhere, and I feel like slowly getting somewhere is better than not getting anywhere.
Exactly. Yes. I have to keep reminding some of my friends about that they're just when you hit a slump, and we've all been there, that when you're down, but you have to kind of like claw your way up again and keep taking those little steps forward. And it sucks, but you gotta do it.
Yeah. So I'm part of, and I help kind of volunteer at a studio called Art Outside the Lines. It's for disabled artists, mostly like intellectual disabilities, but you know, like it's adults with disabilities, and there's days where like they don't want to make anything, and I'll just kind of challenge them, like, well, what if you just do like this little thing, or what if you just do a little collage or something. Whereas usually if you paint or do sculpture, like, just do a little thing, kind of break out and do something different. So I'll kind of be there to kind of help motivate them. And it's that same concept of just like chipping away a little bit by a little bit. Well, at least do something today, like even if it's just like something that took you 5 minutes, it's better than not doing anything.
Was there like a specific moment where you had to like fight yourself to be creative, that you had to meet a deadline, but you really didn't want to do it? And what kind of steps did you take to meet the deadline or to make the client happy or whatever it was?
I would definitely say it is client related for a certain painting that I did. Actually this past year, and I'm very much, I don't want to just make something that looks beautiful. There's so many deeper meanings to my paintings. Like, I pour a lot of raw emotion into them. And I used to make things that were just pretty, just because I'm like, okay, well, this looks cool, someone's gonna like it. And that's that. There's no like actual emotional meaning for me behind it. And it's interesting because I look back now at some of those previous paintings, I'm like, why did I do that? And there are times now where I have paintings where I'll start a painting, I'm like, oh, this is really great, like, I'm really feeling this. And then, I won't finish it because it's very rare that I'll finish a whole painting in one sitting because it takes hours.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of hard work. It's exhausting. And you gotta feed yourself in between. You gotta take care of yourself as well. Yeah. It's very important. I'm still, like, learning to be good about that.
It's a process.
Yeah. But, there are times where I'll start a painting and I'll think it's really awesome. Like, I'm very into it. And then I'll come back to it, like, a month, a week, a couple hours later, and be like, you know what, like, I don't feel for this anymore. So I really try to not make things I don't feel for. That's very, very important to me. Like, I kind of hold that sacred. So in specifics to this client's painting, I didn't want that to happen. Like, I wanted it to be something that had meaning and purpose and not just something that looked great.
Right.
So I think that's hard because, like, I'm not going to sit down and paint or start a painting if I'm not feeling that way, if I'm not really feeling it. So I try and go into it with inspiration and motivation. So there are times like that where, like, sometimes I've had to wait till, and this probably sounds like really bad, like, I sort of procrastinated, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Because, I wanted that emotional value in it. I didn't want it to just be, something that just looked pretty. That's just there, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, for me, that's not what I want.
Right.
So there are times where I've had to wait till later, or I've had to paint on one day and then wait like a week to then paint on it again. Sometimes I have to kind of wait for that to be present to work on a piece. So sometimes I'm kind of doing stuff last minute. Not that I'm trying to do this stuff last minute.
Yeah, of course. And sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, life gets in the way for sure.
So you mentioned self-care. What kind of, how do you cope with some of the mental struggles, and like, do you have like a self-care routine? Can you talk a little bit about that?
So I used to be really bad about not eating while painting. Like, sometimes I go 8 hours painting and doing nothing else, not eating or anything, taking breaks. So I've definitely become a lot better about not only eating kind of regularly while painting, like, taking time to take breaks out, which is also very important. Like, it's kind of good to walk away for a little bit, like, once you get to like a good stopping point, and then walk away and take like a 15-minute break or something like that. You just kind of need a breather to kind of recharge your battery.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, like, I've walked away to, kind of regularly eat, but also like eating healthy things. And sometimes like kind of eating energetic snacks to kind of recharge your battery in the middle of painting. So I'd say there's a couple things, but I think something, as far as I know, that kind of makes me unique as an artist is I like to smudge my paintings with sage and the room and stuff to kind of keep good energy in there. Because I know that a lot of the emotions that I pour into my paintings can be really, really heavy. So I like to, do that, and either before, during, or after, I'll smudge the room and the paintings with sage.
That's really cool.
So yeah, I try and keep it all positive. I'll light candles and stuff like that too, so it's like kind of almost romantic. Like I'll have like all my herbs burning, and I'll have my candles. Sometimes I'll have like my little string lights on too. Like sometimes you just kind of need to kind of bring a certain magic, whatever that is, to you. Like you gotta kind of bring that magic into your space. Like I feel like if you personalize your space, that's a really good like motivator. And it kind of really helps, you take care of yourself and like, stuff like that. So
I have like that always kind of like I always like thought about like personalizing your area, your space, your studio, but I have never I haven't heard about like lighting candles and like the actual like atmosphere of the studio, because I always smelled like paint when I'm done, but to smell like sage when I'm done would be so much better.
I love the record. I love the smell of paint as well. Like I love the smell of all of it.
Oh yes. I love walking into Blake's and just be like, I'm home. That's really cool. I haven't actually heard of that before, so that's really cool.
Like I haven't either, but I'm sure there has to be somebody out there.
Absolutely.
I hope so. It's a really great method.
Well, I
suggest you all try it.
I rely a lot on essential oils, not like the.
Oh yeah, essential oils are good too. Yeah.
I have like 3 little bottles on my desk at work. That's like headaches, energy, and like a stress reliever. And literally every morning I'll like rub a little on my wrist, and then I'll like sniff a little, and then like if I get a headache throughout the like sometime during the day, I'll add a little more on my wrist, and I'm fine. Or if I'm stressed out, I come back from like a board meeting and I'm just so wound tight, I've got my little stress reliever. And even if it's like it's even just the smell just makes me take a second to breathe,
right?
And that helps so much,
right? And that's really good. Like it helps. It sounds like it like helps you stay present. And that's something I struggle with, with PTSD and stuff like that, because like I tend to dissociate. So like I try to be present, and that's kind of why I do art and painting, because it kind of helps me be present more than anything else that I've tried, which is really nice. Because there's so much stimulation going on, at least as far as I can say with paint. Because there's the smell of the paint, there's the colors, so there's the sight, and then there's also like the touch sensation of paint. Like you're deep in it, so it gets everywhere, and it's kind of hard not to be present when you have paint. So that's why I just kind of like let it cover me and stuff. Because like, I don't really care about the mess, because it's kind of my happy zone. It's making me feel present, which is hard for me to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's the physical evidence of you getting something done.
Right. But also, like, another thing as far as, like, self-care goes is I drink a lot of tea as well. Like, there's this really nice celestial tea. It's called Tension Tamer. So, like, nice soothing teas are also great to kind of, like, sip on while you're working. I drink a lot of water as well, so I kind of keep myself hydrated a lot, too.
I see. I'm kind of the opposite, because I'll have wine when I'm designing.
That's true.
that just makes me chill, because I usually get so involved and focused that at least wine is like my little like indulgence. It makes me chill,
right? And
I'm not like sitting there like chugging it. It's just like, little like okay. But I do have a water sitting next to me, because I do actually have to do work. But
right, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes at night I will have like my few shots of whiskey, or I'll be sipping on a little bit of whiskey, and sometimes beer, but I'm mostly a whiskey kind of girl, so
that my partner is too. Whiskey at home, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm sitting there with my little glass of wine. So then outside of the self-care thing too, do you seek any other treatment? Because I talk about like therapy and medication. Do you do anything related to that, or do you have your own kind of way of professional coping mechanisms outside of your tea and smells and
Right, yeah. My nice little environment.
yes, which is important, but
so yeah, I do take different medications. I've been on a lot of different medications that sadly have not worked or had unfavorable side effects. Currently, like, I do counseling, so I go to that pretty frequently. There's like some things I'm kind of looking into trying. Like, I think eventually, like, getting a service dog would probably be like a great help, not only for like all the mental obstacles I face, but also like physical mobility.
right.
So I kind of have a double whammy between the two. So I'm like, I feel like that would help because I've
You're
tried.
probably good in the running then. So.
Right, so because I've tried so many things that like have not worked, and honestly, like, I'm not a big fan of taking medications for me personally, because I'm more about like natural kind of stuff. Like, I want to know what I'm putting in my body instead of chemicals or things. Like, it's weird that I'm putting something in my body that I can't pronounce. So yeah, I mean, there's that. There's different kind of other counseling type programs I've been in before, but right now I have a pretty fantastic counselor. She's amazing. So
Yay!
I feel like she kind of helps keep me together and functioning, and I talk about my art and stuff with her too, and stuff like that. But I think honestly, like, because I don't take a whole lot of medications for mental stuff anymore, since a lot of things have not worked. So kind of primarily between counseling is also just like art has been like the most therapeutic for me currently. So
that's awesome.
That's why I spend as much time as I can doing that. And this kind of goes back to symptoms as well, like, you know, with the night terrors, like, some of the paintings I do, like, whether it be the colors or the texture or the overall theme of it, kind of is, I have like this little insight book that kind of picks apart your dreams. It's a dream insight book.
Oh, wow.
So I like to kind of decode a lot of my dreams through there. And once I kind of interpret it, then I'll kind of pull different things from that and put them into my paintings. Whether they're telling me like what I'm feeling from those dreams, I'll try and put that same emotion in the painting. Or whether it's colors I've seen in that dream, I'll put them in the painting. So they're very involved. There's a lot that goes in my paintings. It's not just something pretty. And I think something that most people would feel is pretty interesting is sometimes, like, you know, a lot of people would probably see like something like this and think, okay, like, that person's probably like sad because it's kind of that, or they're calm or something like that. But like, sometimes colors that seem kind of depressing are actually paintings of things that are really happy. And then sometimes paintings that have a lot of bright colors, I feel like usually it's mostly the ones that have bright colors or actually have like really dark kind of deeper meanings. I kind of like a rebel in that way, I guess, like a color rebel.
I mean, with I think the white, the white definitely helps me because I think of like water, like a whirlpool or something. So I mean, that's like stereotypical of like blues, but I don't think sad. I just think like I feel like I want to like literally dive in. Like that looks like fun.
That's like really interesting that you say that too, because this one is actually about the ocean and stuff and waves. That's kind of what that. So yeah, this was for like at my work they do like these little art contests, and I've entered some before, so I didn't have enough space for this one, so unfortunately it didn't get in. But now I have this really awesome piece. But like the theme was unseen oceans, so this was kind of to portray like the deepness and also the waves, because blue's my all-time favorite color, so I kind of ran with this one, but also like I love water because I'm a water sign, so super into like anything water related. So I was super excited about this, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So
I think it's gorgeous. Sarah would have just entered in the Muppet contest. That was gonna be my thing. I couldn't think of anything at the time, so I was like, well, oh well. So I just see the Muppet exhibit anyway, so it's fine. We've been talking for a while, which is awesome. So why don't you tell us like where we can find more about you? Like if you've got a website, your Instagram, I know you have. Where can we find more to see more?
So currently I just have the Instagram going for me, so pretty much all of my stuff is on there. There's stuff that are like, there's pictures of finished paintings, there's pictures of like work in progress, and then like other kind of little fun odds and ends about like whether it's like my art or someone else's art or things that inspire me. I like to kind of have a nice healthy mix of all of the above, so but yeah, currently just all my stuff is on Instagram. I'm looking at branching out to other social media, but currently it's all on Instagram.
Well, yeah, that's definitely not a problem too. Having a niche is also important.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll jump into my last little disclaimer is we talked about a lot of different coping mechanisms. So find what you need, experiment safely. Let me preface that. If you need medication or if you need to seek please seek professional help first of all. Don't self-medicate. That's not fun. It never ends well.
No.
But if make sure that you have your self-care routine, but seek the professional help that you need, whether it's group counseling, an individual counselor, psychiatrist, therapist, the whole nine. Talk to your general practitioner, doctor, and tell them what you're feeling, how you're feeling. They might be able to help you or get you to someone that will be able to help you. Whatever you're comfortable with, talk to a friend, reach out. Talk to me, please. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself at the same time because you deserve to be on this earth just as much as anybody else. So please hang in there. Hopefully this gave you some ideas. Channel that sage in your room, please.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that now.
Do some art therapy.
Oh my God, now I'm going to do that. It's going to make me feel so much better.
Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah.
This is like a wonderful opportunity, and I appreciate it so much. I appreciate having this platform to speak about, mental health because a lot of my work focuses on creating more space and visibility for mental health, but also for like queer artists and disabled artists in general. So. And female artists, so it was really great that you let me be a part of this.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you joined me. I really appreciate it. I love every new perspective and every new artist I get to meet, so it's been an honor, so thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, well, bye, guys.